That's you, Mary.
That's me.
That you are the trusted professional.
That's right.
We're going to go live in 1 minute. It says there.
We're live right now.
Okay.
Do you see it? You see it, Jim?
Tonight on the Trust Radio Network, we have attorney Stephen A. Leahy with Open Tax Resolution 312-664-6649. Technical producer Deborah Schreiner. You got me, Jim Leahy, broker with At Properties. Let's start thinking about tomorrow, today, 847-271-3695. And we are very special guest and trusted professional, Dr. Mary Olszewski. Am I saying that correct?
You are.
Did I say that? Yes!
All right.
Because Dr. Mary, I don't know if you know this, but that is a very complicated last name to say. The way it's spelled, but I'll tell you what. We got it going. Dr. Mary Olszewski, a podiatrist, this week.
Remember now, this show is sponsored by Open Tax Resolutions and the law. Well, it's Law Office of Stephen Leahy and Open Tax Resolutions. Open helps people solve IRS problems. We help people with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. We also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these problems, or if you know someone who does, you should give us a call at 312-664-6649. Again, that number's 312-664-6649. Or you can visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Now, I want to let you know that I have reprinted my book, Deal with Your IRS Problem Today.
Really? Did you?
And if you want a copy of my book, you should go to 560steve.com. Again, 560steve.com, and I'll give you a copy of my book and some other goodies, because I'll also include a report, the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money. And I'll answer your questions. So if you think you might have some IRS problems, see what happens when people have IRS problems is they kind of sit back and they wait. And usually when people come to see me, the problem is 5-6 years old. It's not something that just happened. Although I think you should take action. If it's just happening now, you should still take action. But
but so many people get embarrassed. And that's one of the big issues. Is a lot of people get embarrassed when it comes to IRS problems.
I think what it is that they don't really understand the complexity of the issue. Okay, and we always hope. So if we just passed April 15th, and when April 15th comes in, I don't have the money to pay my taxes, because most of my clients are business people. They run their own business, as you do, Dr. Mary. You don't mind if I call you that, do you? And
no.
That's what
most people call me.
It's got nothing to do with your last name. Okay, but most people who are running their own business, right, comes April 15th, many of us have to pay something. And if we don't have the money, then we figure, well, we won't file our tax return until we get the money. And so they file an extension. And they don't really realize that when you file an extension, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to pay your taxes on April 15th. You're still supposed to pay your taxes on April 15th, but most people don't realize that, and they file an extension, and they pushes it till October. And then October comes and goes, and they don't file the extension. I can tell you how many people come to see me, they haven't filed in 5 or 6 years, and they tell me, but I asked for an extension.
I'll tell you what, Attorney Stephen Leahy, the issues that you're saying right now are monumental, because this happens all the time. And Dr. Mary, I'm sure you have the same problems with podiatry. Not a lot of people know about that. Can you give us a little insight on what that is about?
Well, you're probably right. So here's the thing: a podiatrist treats anything below the knee. So in the state of Illinois, and it does change from state to state. So in the state of Illinois, a podiatrist can treat anything from.
Okay, so let me interrupt you. You said it changes from state to state. How can that change from state to the definition or
the
what?
licensure?
Okay.
The licensure is different. So here in the state of Illinois, we can treat anything that has an origin in the foot that's below the knee. So podiatrists do not only feet, but they can do ankles.
Okay, so ankle.
Now, of course, I would figure an ankle is part of the foot, so I would think that it would be something that I would just assume. But obviously, that's not a good assumption.
Well, so one of the bones of the foot does connect to the ankle, which connects to the leg. So
Just like the song, Attorney Stephen.
that's right. It does. It does. So yes. So if you have a foot or ankle problem, you want to think podiatry. So
Uh-huh.
in residency, you know, the old term was below the knee called podiatry.
Oh, that's very good. So let me ask you this: how did you get to where you are today? What made you, become a doctor in podiatry?
So I always wanted to be in medicine ever since I was 4 years old. So that goal never changed. So I was a little bit different. You know, I didn't change a bunch of majors as I was going on. And just through my varied information of different types of things, I really wanted a profession that had a lot of variety. So in my profession, I will treat all age groups. So I'm not really just narrowed down in a demographic, and I treat a lot of different things. So I do a lot of skin issues, I do surgery, I'm involved in sports medicine, I'll do some geriatrics. So I really have a very well diverse generalized practice.
Where is your practice?
So I am located in Arlington Heights. I am in the southwest corner of Arlington Heights Road and Palatine Road in Arlington Heights, Illinois.
It's a
I've
nice
been there
little
for 30
parcel.
years.
That's
You've
a
been
nice
at that
little
same
parcel.
location for 30 years?
I have.
Has that been your practice, or did you join a practice?
No,
Yeah, how did you get
I-
into something like this?
I opened it up cold. So after my residency at Rush Press St. Luke's Medical Center, I worked for somebody for 2 years, and I decided that I really wanted to go on my own and be my own boss, and that's what I did, and I opened it up.
I commend you for that. I did a similar thing, although I
Yeah,
didn't.
because
too
you do
much.
the same. Because you did the same thing too.
Similar, although it hasn't been 30 years. It's only been 20 years. But
You're dating yourself.
no, I'm not, because I started.
You did.
I got I was an iron worker before I became an attorney, and so when I started an attorney, I just opened my own office because because that's what I wanted to do. Actually, I went to law school to start my own business. I always thought I would start my own business, and someone told me, you should be lawyers teach you how to think, and I already had a business degree. So I thought, well, now I have my own business, and it's law practice.
Right.
So it takes a lot of gumption to start your own practice. That's very commendable.
Well, it does. And now, medicine has really changed in the last 5 years, and you see a lot of people kind of joining forces, being in very large groups, joining hospitals and things like that. And I just, want to remain autonomous, and I think that just kind of gives good patient care.
Well, as you mentioned, there's a lot of merging going on. So, for instance, funeral homes. There used to be a very people would open their own. It was small business people that owned it, and now it seems like the corporations have taken over that. Veterinarians. My grandmother used to run a veterinarian hospital, and it was a small business of dental, and they've been
Hair cuttery for even. I mean,
they've been glommed up by these big corporations. Is that happening in your profession?
Well, we're starting to see it, and there's many different reasons why some people do it. And of course, malpractice is high. The electronic medical records really seems to have really shoved a lot of people into that way, because with technology, as you know, there's so much support that you need and different programs and things like that. So it has. And if some people want to do that, that's their option. That just hasn't been my option for right now.
Well, good. I think, and again, sometimes it's not even an option. They kind of steal it away from you. These corporations do. No, I'm all for people. And of course, when the corporations they still need doctors. They still need the vets to run the place, because they don't have a doctor. They're not a doctor, so they can't do it. But I think. But I commend you for it. It's very difficult to run.
Again, I commend both you guys, though, too, from just a third-party standpoint of just creating your own business. Dr. Mary doing what you do,
Right.
and we're going to go into that in the next segment, because we are running a little bit out of time on who are some of the people that you help, and so what's going on in the office. But then also, too, Attorney Stephen Leahy over here for God's sakes, you wrote a book. And we talked about that at the beginning. You wrote the 6 things you could do if, you have...
And, I got this new book published. I mean, this is my older book. I just reprinted it because I have a new book coming out, and we're going to talk about that in another segment.
Another show, too.
Another show,
which is the IRS Radio Hour.
That's right. So we'll talk about
but
that.
anyway, again, Dr. Mary, doing what you do...
Let me interrupt you, because Dr. Mary and I have a connection, and that's what we went to John Hersey High School, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Okay,
we
so
did.
I was speaking with Amy Jacobson, another Hersey alum, and they put her picture up as a famous Hersey. I'm not up there.
Yeah, not
I'm
yet.
not up
though.
there
Yeah,
either.
not yet though. Not yet though.
Well,
You're
we're gonna
getting
apply,
there.
right?
That's right. We'll put that. We should be okay. We'll have to make that. But I just think that that's a nice connection. You know that, and so I'm very happy that you're here on the show with us, and that
And
we
everybody said back in the day John Hersey was nothing.
they still say that.
Yeah, well,
At
let's
least
get
I
your
say
phone.
it.
Well, a good
Let's get your
school. It is a
phone
good
number.
school.
That's right.
It
Let's
is a
get
good
your
school.
phone number, Dr. Mary.
So my phone number is 847-398-0900.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's Dr. Mary. We're going to go into some of the people that she helps with in podiatry, how she can help you. But remember, this show is sponsored by Opum Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649, and visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your hub to help fight the IRS. Attorney Stephen Leahy helps businesses just like yours, so make sure you give him a call today, 312-664-6649. Listen to our sponsors and come back on AM 560.
The Answer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you're having a wonderful time. Please comment, please like, please share, please subscribe, please. Yeah. Please. No, anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying. We want to thank you all for your patience because we were supposed to do the Facebook live stream, but we made it work, Dr. Mary. I'm telling you, look, we made it work.
We improvised.
That's right, and I got it posted on the Trust Radio Network page, so if you guys go over there, if you're just tuning in and you're not liking our page, go over there and like it. And it's a great way to get in touch with all of our trusted professionals because we've had a ton of people on.
Right, and then you can like my page too.
That's right. That's right. We have links to Dr. Mary's page. We have links to all of our trusted professionals. Where else can I go, Attorney Stephen Leahy? Is there another website?
WatchTalkRadio.com.
That's right, WatchTalkRadio.com. Did you know that, Dr. Mary?
I did. I've been following your podcast.
Well, God bless you. God bless you.
Someone give Dr. Mary a prize.
I got my prize. I got
You
the
got
book.
the you got the book. Got the book. The signed book.
Do you have a book?
It's right here.
Okay.
You
I
gave it
don't
to
mean
me.
my book. I meant your own book.
I do not have a book.
Okay, because that's many professionals, right?
Maybe a coloring book.
I have one of those too. I draw outside the lines. I think outside the box.
Good for you.
Contemporary.
So that's
I'm sure
excellent too.
Dr. Mary could write a book about all of the wonderful people she has helped.
Well, that's absolutely true, and that's
She
what.
would change the names to make it anonymous.
That's true, and
And to be HIPAA compliant.
because what I like to talk.
That's
to,
the most important is
Right.
compliance.
I like to talk to other people we have on the show
Mm-hmm.
about their business and their practice and how they go about getting more business. Is it just that you've been around for a long time, or do you have a marketing program that you engage with, or do you think about how you're going to get more business?
Well, absolutely. I think anytime you're in a business, you
Sure.
have to be thinking that way and be forward thinking. So I think that I have been around for 30 years. I do have a trusted name. I
Mhm.
do have wonderful physicians that refer to me, and I've probably the greatest patients in all over that
Mhm.
refer. I do have a marketing manager who does, have me on social media. And we do some special tips, and we don't like to blast everybody, every week. But,
Mhm.
once a month we try to put out some information and things that, people may not know about with podiatry that have them come in. So, and we're starting to think. We're just trying to be forward thinking. We have a website. It's drmary.org. If you want to look at that, you can read a little bit about what we do and where
Let me
we
interrupt
are.
you because you said you have a marketing director. Did you said?
Yeah, manager.
Oh, manager, marketing man. Well, I think that's your leaps and bounds in front of a lot of people, a lot of companies or professionals because
Yes.
at least you're thinking ahead of how does that work? Because you could be the best doctor in the world, but if nobody ever hears about you, you'll never help anybody, right? Because they never heard of you. But you've been around for a long time, and that's another thing. It's like the same thing with lawyers, right? Lawyers get a lot of referrals because of the people that you helped. In my business, sometimes people don't want to tell people that they had problems.
That's right.
So they want to tell.
But you're needed.
Yeah, and so you get but marketing is a big part of it, and I'm waist deep into it. So I'm always interested in hearing what other professionals do in order to push their own business, right? Because it's our obligation. Because if someone has a foot problem, you're probably right that you're the best option, right? Because you can help them as good or better than anybody else because because
Yeah,
you have a certain.
And I would really say better. If it's a foot problem,
Yes.
I'm going to help somebody better because that's what I do. I'm board certified in it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I do. So if you have a foot problem, you want to see a podiatrist,
Mhm.
just hands down.
And as a podiatrist, right? Because the people that you help, better than any. Because there's a match, right? There's a match between a doctor and a patient, a lawyer and a client.
Oh,
There has to be a
absolutely.
match, and that match is important to success for helping them. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Right, the match. Okay, how are we doing?
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah, again, Dr. Mary, it's like the three fingers right in front
That
of
looks
you.
great.
Beautiful.
Okay,
thank
got
you.
it.
Okay. But anyway, that's why I was saying is that I think it's our obligation, because I do the same thing, to let people know that I'm out there or that you're out there and that you're there to help them, right?
Right, and this is interesting because it's trust radio. And what do you do when you go to a physician or an attorney or somebody in that field, accountant? You have to trust them.
Exactly.
You sit down, you get a feel. Do I like this person? Are they in my best interest? And really, we take an oath. Do no harm. And we are there to help people. And I think that that's probably one of the things that sets me apart from so many other people in many different fields is, I'm genuine. I live and work and came from the same area that I'm in, and I am there, and I think people have a good rapport and they can talk to me about things.
Well, again, that's kind of like sometimes.
Let's jump in, Steve.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll talk about that. I think it's interesting though. That's why.
I do too. It's a good
why,
conversation.
Why does it stop, like on occasions, a commercial or something?
No, now that
No.
wasn't on air. That was between segments. So now we're going to do another
Yeah, this
segment.
is- yeah.
This is the
Oh.
segment I'm going to ask you about people you help.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I know, but it makes you more
Yeah,
comfortable.
tell me that so I know.
Okay. The more you talk, the more at ease you'll be.
Sure.
Welcome back. This is the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The
The
answer. Here with my nephew, my co-host, my realtor, the producer of the show, Jim
There's
Leahy.
a lot of titles. I'm a man of many hats, but I
And
don't wear one.
We have always. Sometimes you do. We
There-
also
I have
have
video proof of that.
our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner, and our very special guest. No, I don't want to butcher her last name. Dr. Mary
Olszewski.
Olszewski.
Okay.
Olszewski.
I know.
That's right, Dr. Mary Olszewski.
And yeah, so she's gonna. And we were talking earlier about your work and how you help people. And so I wanted to ask you, give us an example. So, because what I want to do is I want people who are listening to see themselves like they see, oh, I have this problem, and this is the person. You're the person they should call when they need help. So give us an example, someone that you help. Some example. Now, before I let you answer, I'm going to tell you this. My mom was always a very active person, and she started having some foot problems, and it's really affected her life, right? Because she's had several surgeries now, and she always swears that last one, this is the last one I'm having, but then she has problems again, and it affects her life because she can't be as active as she used to be because it's hard to walk. So I know that you help people in just that situation. So tell us of someone that you've helped recently.
You know what? We do so much, really, and it's a variety of people, a variety of problems, and I don't know if I really want to focus on one thing.
Okay.
Because if somebody hears that, they may say, well, my problem's not that big. I don't know if I really want to go. So it's anything. So it's any age group. It's foot and ankle. I would probably have to say the most memorably would be somebody who was diabetic, bad blood supply, shoveling when we had all that below zero temperature, came to me and had gangrene.
Oh.
And they didn't realize what it was. I did. Got them into the hospital, had very good care at the hospital, and we were really thinking that this person is going to lose a portion of their foot. And, all of us as a team, all the different doctors, whether it be the internist, myself, the infectious disease, or one of my other doctors that work for me, we actually saved that person's foot. And that is really immeasurable. When somebody is looking at a person and telling them, well, we don't know, we might have to amputate. So
Wow.
really,
Whenever
so-
you hear that word amputation,
It's hard.
you go, whoa.
It's hard. And with diabetes, it is a very serious problem. And podiatry really services the diabetic population. And if we're not servicing you and you're diabetic, you need to make some sort of arrangement with us, because we have to get to know each other. Because if something happens, we don't want to see it at that critical point. We want to be able to take care of you before that. So that's really important. So really limb salvage, and that's what it's called.
Limb salvage.
Limb salvage. So it's keeping all of your toes, your feet, and making sure that you are healthy and don't have to lose different parts. And that is really critical, because if you do start losing parts of your foot, or you do lose a foot, you have a 5% chance of losing the other limb
Is that
within
right?
5 years.
Really?
It's increased weight, increased pressure to the area.
Okay, so I had a back problem some years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and they call it guarding, right? So I have a problem with my back, so then I walk kind of weird, and that affects my spine, that affects my knees, so that's what you're saying, right? Is that if something happens with my foot, now I'm going to start walking differently. It's going to have an effect on the rest of me.
Well, it does. And so let's take that really critical patient out of it, and let's just go into somebody that has really a flat foot. Okay, and they're walking, they're fatigued, and their legs hurt, and they just don't really think about it. That's where they really need to say, hey, I have that problem, and come in so that you can have an evaluation and consultation. And sometimes something just as easy as a pair of orthotics that are custom inserts specifically for you to get you walking properly can really align the whole part of your body. So as I had said, that old song, the foot bone's connected to the ankle bone. The feet are really your foundation. You need to start there. I'm not saying that we treat things that are outside of the foot and ankle, but sometimes there is a problem.
That you can't do that.
Right. But, it starts there, and what we could do is we could at least assess it. And there are sometimes when we do orthotics where people have had help in other parts of their body.
And this is just going right back what I was just talking about, right? Because if you're not walking correct,
Right.
it helps you walk correctly and keep you in line,
Right.
And that's so important for your whole body.
Right,
So
absolutely.
you're thinking more of the whole body. You're thinking about how it affects everything, right?
Well, it does, right. And really, as podiatrists, we have a lot of education in biomechanics. Biomechanics is, how the foot, ankle, and the rest of your body is during stance, which is when you're standing or while you're walking or at rest. So
I think it's kind of cool that, again, you have this protection plan sort of in a way. Is what you're saying is like, hey, come over here. We're going to make sure that the other parts of your body can start working and get it in moving order. Again, we mentioned it. I'm trying to bring the connection between two of you because, again, Attorney Stephen Leahy's got a business as well. You have the IRS protection plan, and you're
that's
helping people.
ongoing,
It's
yes.
almost
Okay.
it's an ongoing issue. Same thing as you. So it's kind of funny how both your guys' businesses is in a way trying to make sure that you're trying to get everything in good working order.
Well, this is where the Trust Radio Network comes in, right?
Right.
Because who can you trust? And as you're pointing out, some people, they have a foot problem. They don't know, should I do something about it? Is it so serious that I should do something about it?
Well, so here's the thing, just like with you, you want to try to get some answers to something before it really becomes a problem. So a consultation, we're going to be very genuine, we're going to be down to earth, we're going to be very honest, we're going to be really professional. And, even if it's nothing, I would rather have somebody come into my office and say, hey, I found this on my foot, I'm not really sure if it's something to be worried about or not, and at least, let us take a look at it, and then we can guide you into that area. So as we had talked about a little bit off the show, Jim, you had said you're really ticklish. There are some people that are very fearful.
Stop.
And in relation to your feet. And, these are things that we deal with all the time. And so there's nothing really too small or too big that you can't come in and,
Well,
get
part
some
of
advice
the Trust Radio Network, we always like to have professionals like yourself,
Right.
because you're willing to talk to somebody and answer their questions, right? If someone had a question about their foot, could they call you?
Well, could they call me? Yes, but I can't really diagnose
No,
over
I
the
understand.
phone.
I understand.
So we do have a website that people can look at, they can call. The best thing really to do is to come into the office so that we can see everything, see the medical history, see the patient, talk to them. Sometimes we do have family members where we'll have to explain something to or something like that. And this is, as we talked about, part of the customer service factor of the office.
So your focus, some doctors, I can give you some examples of my own life where I go into a doctor and they're not very, bedside manner maybe, they're not
I'd
very.
like to have a good bedside
Yeah,
manner.
well, I mean, that's important, don't you think?
Yeah, that's part of the trust. That's part of the connection. That's part of, the referral source. Absolutely it is.
It's the connection between you and your patient.
Right.
Right. So it's so important. And we, so you mentioned that there's it's not always the big things, and you mentioned some of the smaller things. Can you talk a little bit about that, about some other smaller issue that people might not connect, that maybe they should get some help?
So anytime you have any lesion on your foot that looks like it hasn't been there before or changed, warts, toenail fungus, athlete's foot that are rash, maybe people have hyperhidrosis or excessive sweating or foot odor, something like that. I mean, these are things that are small but affect your life. And these are things that are small but we take care of every day. Major things are, Achilles tendon ruptures, ankle fractures, you slipped and you fell. So these are all things that we take care of also.
Because you said something about sports medicine, that you do some sports
Right,
medicine too.
absolutely.
Because that's where you're going to have an effect on your feet.
Ruptured Achilles tendon.
Right. I have a son that's an athlete. He goes to Buffalo Grove. We went to Hersey High School. I like to work with District 214 because that's where we were, and excellent teachers and staff there. And I actually have taught a couple of the classes for the high school, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine who ruptured his Achilles tendon. We were playing basketball, and afterwards I went, I'm no longer going to do this. This is it. This is the.
I don't know if that's the answer, just to sit down and never.
No,
get
I
up.
do something else, but I'm not going to play that sport.
I get it.
I'm okay with that. Dr. Mary, if I have any of those issues, sweaty feet, toe fungus, no, I'm joking. But if I do, can I give you a call?
Absolutely, you could.
Let's get your number.
The number is 847-398-0900. Visit the website, drmary.org.
And you're in Arlington Heights.
I am.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, give Dr. Mary a call if you're having any foot issues. Also, too, if you're having any IRS issues, Attorney Stephen Leahy is there for you with OPM Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649, and visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. We hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday evening. Dr. Mary, we're going to be coming to you in a couple of segments about just some couple of questions, but real estate coming up here on AM 560.
The answer. Very good.
Oh, now I figured that out. So when it starts spinning down, then you're going to wind out the segment.
That's it.
Yeah.
See how smart I am.
I do about 30 seconds, and then I start the kill switch.
But you did make a really good point when you said that, because there's so many people that are embarrassed.
That's what it is entirely, and it's the same thing it's kind of the same thing with real estate too. When you come in and go, well, what can I do to, I'm dealing with a lot of renters right now, and a lot of people don't realize, it's not being embarrassed, but like just don't know, they just have no idea. It's like we're dealing with renters, people just have no idea that doesn't cost you anything, and then they get embarrassed, like, well, I guess I make this much. Is that gonna affect? And be like,
I think another thing too, I don't know if you guys want to bring it up too, is there's so many people that don't have insurance now, even though they're supposed to have insurance.
I'm one of them.
We're probably one of the only offices that have cash pays.
God bless you. God bless you.
And, I feel for somebody if they say, hey, this is what I have, and I can't, and, I don't want to say wheel and deal, but I try to.
You want to help people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's kind of like where I'm at, is that, I want to help people, and sometimes when you get them in the office, obviously I can't help everybody for free, because you still have to pay the bills, and you have to stay in business. But whenever I get somebody in front of me and they're having, I want to help them.
Right.
And that's I know it sounds kind of cliche, but it's the truth.
And somebody like you is so very important, and you're absolutely right. When they're in a problem, the time isn't to do it 5 years later, and you're right too. They're embarrassed, they don't want to go. But if you really do help a lot of people, and I've had people that have been in bankruptcy, and they're like, oh, this lawyer, he really helped me, and he got me out of it, and I just went through a bad time. My spouse died and left me with a ton of debt.
Well, obviously, I help people with bankruptcy, so I see a lot of that, and people are embarrassed about it. But
and that's how Peter Francis Teresi really made it.
Well, he helps a lot. He helps a lot of people.
No, he does.
He does help a lot of people.
He does.
I have to say that again, people are embarrassed of it, but I always tell the story about the. You always think your neighbors are always having a perfect life, but they don't either. They have problems.
Right.
One of the stories I always like to tell is a Chapter 13 client of mine. Every month he had to go get a a cashier's check to pay the trustee. So every month he would go to the same bank, get a cashier's check. After some months, he goes in and he goes to get another. The trustee's name is Tom Vaughn. So he gets a cashier's check for Tom Vaughn, and the cashier says, "You mind if I ask you a question?" He says, "No, don't go right ahead." She said, "Who's this guy, Tom Vaughn? Everybody's coming in here looking for a cashier's check for the guy. What does he do?" So that's how, in the small neighborhood, enough to get the attention of the cashier there that there's that many people, and you don't think that. You think you're the only one,
Right.
and you're not the only one.
Right.
It's a common problem, and again, everybody looks at everybody else and thinks their life is perfect, and they're probably looking at you and saying your life is perfect. Right?
Well, and too, like my daughter had said, "Oh, I wish I was this family. They're so rich. They have this, and they drive a Mercedes." And I said, "You know what? Don't go by that, because you don't know how in debt somebody is or what they're
exactly.
doing." And I said, "Don't focus on anybody. Just be happy."
That's good advice.
So
Be
many
happy.
people really that is a perfect way. You don't know how much in debt they are. You don't know what their expenses are. I mean, it might look all stunning on the outside, but on the inside it is a train wreck. You have no idea.
Right.
So anyway,
But they drive a nice car. That doesn't mean anything.
No.
to some people it does.
I agree with that.
Hey, we
Some
all have
people-
to sleep at night, right?
That's right.
Well, I don't have any problem sleeping at night.
I
Okay, all set to go?
let's do it.
Okay, let me be
Night's rest.
847. There I have it. 847
My phone number?
398. Mary's phone number.
0900.
398.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching our live stream. Dr. Mary, thank you so much for being on here. We are having a great time today. So if everybody would like to leave a comment, like the video, share it on social media as well, and give Dr. Mary a shout out. Feel free. Listen.
DrMary.org. Is
That's
that
right.
That's right.
DrMary.org.
DrMary.org.
You're listening to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Step inside the minds of some of Chicago's most successful.
What are you going to talk about, Jim?
Here's your host, attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
I will sell this house today.
Welcome back. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Leahy, and this is the Trust Radio Network on AM 560.
The Answer.
Here with our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner, our very special guest,
Dr. Mary Olszewski.
And-
Did I say that correctly again?
You are perfect.
You're almost perfect.
Almost.
I don't want to make his head.
Nobody is perfect.
I don't want to make his head big. And my co-host,
I'm counting them.
and our realtor. I'm just going to do two. Jim Leahy, and Jim is a trusted professional. He's our realtor on the show, and he's going to talk about real estate.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know, we have Dr. Mary Olszewski on today, a podiatrist, and one of the things that you do, Dr. Mary, one of the reasons why you got into it was to help people, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I'm dealing with some things now where I have a couple of renters coming my way, and I've talked about it before on the show, how renters that, you're not really paying me at the end of the day. It costs there's no
Doesn't cost
cost.
you any money.
There's no cost to you. I get paid by the management company or whoever is privately listing, regardless. I get paid one way or another, but it doesn't come out of your pocket. Not a lot of people know that. We were talking during the commercial break too about how many people come around and are really kind of embarrassed, with foot issues, and Attorney Stephen Leahy with
Financial issues.
financial
That's right.
issues. And it's another thing I've been coming across too, where people are finding some homes, but they go, yeah, but we have to sell ours, and I'm not really ready to get in order. And again, the whole point of this segment right now is set yourself up. Let's think about tomorrow today. Set yourself up above the competition. I talk about it every week. It's pretty much the same thing. This literally should be the segment just called the competition segment, because that's all this is. That's all this game is. Dr. Mary's against Attorney Stephen Leahy. Attorney Stephen Leahy's against me. We're all trying to bet on this pen right here. Well,
I'm not against you, Jim.
We're together.
Yes.
But we're not together.
So, but real estate is a kind of a unique thing in that it's such a big purchase when people are trying to make a purchase of real estate.
And That's something that you have to, in my line of work, take into consideration because it can be a very stressful time. I mean, I just am helping somebody purchase a condo right now in Vernon Hills, and I told her, hey, this is where the fun part begins, because now we're
Looking for a new home?
No, we put the offer and got accepted. Now you have to fill out the paperwork, and that's why we have our trusted professional. We had David Hochberg come on talking about make sure you get approved for the loan outright. I tell that to a lot of people all the time. Hey, talk to my friend David Hochberg. He's going to get you taken care of. If you don't want David for some reason, you don't like the way he's on the radio, I got other people, but David's my guy. That's the guy you go to, and he'll help you get. And if we go out a few months in advance, because again, I help home buyers. I help people purchase homes. So if you go out and you make sure that you guys are taking,
Let me interrupt you, Jim, and talk a little bit about another trusted professional that we have, Larry Smith.
That's right.
Okay.
Larry Smith's helping another client of mine.
False information.
False information, which can come up and really bite you in the butt.
I remember who Larry Smith is. He's an attorney who helps people with consumer issues.
That's right.
And the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act.
That's right. So we have
Fair Debt Reporting Act.
And again, this is detrimental to the kid. He's having a tough time finding a place now because all of this falsified information is coming up. And again, people.
Nobody wants to rent to a guy who's got a bad rap sheet. And if it's not your rap sheet,
and I'm fighting like heck to get him in there.
I agree.
Because at the end of the day, we're.
But that's
trying
why
to
you have a very strong network of people to help.
That's right.
To help.
That's right. And again, it's setting yourself up above the competition. That's really the whole point of this. Is again, talk to David. You got a problem with your credit?
Gary Novell.
Gary Novell. Not even if you got a problem with your credit, your TransUnion report, you're trying to get a rental. All of a sudden, some falsified information. I got Larry Smith. You want to get your pipes checked out in the inspection process?
That's right.
I have Permaseal with Roy Spencer. I work closely with them. Actually, I did a deal in Mundelein, and the other agent goes, do you do this with all of your homes? Do you check all the pipes? Yes. That is, I advise that.
We have another trusted professional who's going to be on in a couple of weeks, and he's a tree guy. We're going to introduce you to him. I'm not going to give you his name right now, but
that's another crucial part too.
Exactly.
And you can go on my Facebook page. I have some of the top things you can do if you're purchasing a home in 2019. I talk about that. Check the trees. Check the pipes. Make sure the inspections are perfect. You know what you're moving into.
That's right. That's why you need someone like yourself that concentrates on helping people who are buyers.
That's right.
Because you have this network of people to help buyers buy the house and know what they're buying.
That's what I do. And again, as the time goes on, as we push forward into the great unknown, as I like to say, you start having an amazing connection with other realtors as well. That hey, you're looking to list a home. Give me a call too, and then I got all these people that I've dealt with already.
Well, let me ask you this, Jim. If someone's thinking about buying a home, even if it's down the road in 6 months or a year, should they give you a call now?
That's right. Give me a call at 847-271-3695. Never think it's too early. Even if you're thinking a year down the road, call me today, 847-271-3695.
Jim, should we start thinking about tomorrow today?
Yes, we should. Jim Leahy, broker with App Properties, 847-271-3695. But remember, this show is sponsored by Opum Tax Resolution. We would not be here. We would not be doing this without Opum Tax Resolution. 312-664-6649. We're giving out a lot of phone numbers. But go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com. If you go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com, you're going to be able to get in touch with Attorney Stephen Leahy. Stay tuned. We have Dr. Mary with some questions coming up on AM 560.
The Answer. Very good.
I want to disclose to everybody. I was going to say Dr. Mary Olszewski. I was running out of time. I was like, don't botch it. Just say Dr. Mary.
That's fine.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, let's start thinking about tomorrow today. Opum. I gotta love Opum.
We had another doctor on the show that I had a problem with.
Mike Andriano.
Yeah, he was the dentist
he's a chiropractor.
Okay.
And
he was holistic medicine.
And actually,
as well.
now he's a holistic medicine. He said he doesn't do a lot of chiropractic. You weren't here for that show.
I watched the show in Augusta, Georgia.
That's right.
Because I'm the producer of the show. I got to keep up with the Kardashians.
Okay, so we're going to ask you, what's the most common questions that you get? Okay, so
can you clip my nails?
I bet you do.
I do. I was gonna say, if we couldn't get like that whole technological thing on, we could start doing foot exams. Okay.
That would be great radio though for the.
Talk about embarrassment.
Yeah. I've got pretty feet. I have no problem. I'll whoop these. I'll whoop these socks right off if you guys want.
When we're off camera, I'll have to tell you the strangest thing that I ever had said, but I can't say that on
Okay,
camera.
but let me ask you this: have you seen the new reality show about the podiatrist?
You know, I have not watched it.
I haven't watched
I've
it.
heard people, and I just am like, really seriously, why didn't I think of that? Because I'm attractive, and I would make a good presence on film,
Exactly.
right? But you know, I don't like to show the bad, gory stuff.
Well, that's of course that's what everybody wants to see.
I
want to see the
know.
ugliest foot you ever saw. At least on the commercial that I saw, it is the ugliest foot I ever saw in my life.
Have you ever just? I'm not going to ask that
Okay,
question.
but
I know that if
so-
it was me though, you look going, who?
there are some shows that I
No.
really like. I really like Forged in Fire. You ever see that show?
I've watched it, and I don't understand the whole concept, but they're making like an
A
implement
knife,
to, right?
A knife. But they
That's not a
they got a
knife.
new show coming up. It's Butcher, and Butcher's.
A blade, Stephen.
That's correct. You're right about that.
Nice.
You are correct about that, Deborah. But did you see the new show is a butcher show, and they butcher a bunch of different kinds of animals, and they don't tell them. Here's your stuff. We're gonna
They give 'em a cat, you know?
here's an ostrich. Here's
Well-
is like, and they got to butcher it.
But I would assume, like, if they're a butcher, that they should
They'd be
know
able to
how
do it.
that.
That's and of course, I'm sure if you're, it's like they're making chopped with everything now, but
Right.
it makes sense.
It does.
Have you seen the Restaurant Impossible or whatever, the Chef Impossible,
like
where
the
they like
Restaurant
get dropped off on a deserted island and be like,
Oh,
hey, so
that's not Restaurant Impossible.
It's not restaurant. It's something like
That's when they drop you off in Vegas and say, "Go get some good food."
You want to know something though, like those bar rescue shows?
Yes.
I watched that.
I love
You
that
can get
show.
a lot of information. It has nothing to do with
About marketing.
a bar.
Yes.
It's all about business. What are you going to do? What does
I
it look
agree.
like? What's the color scheme? How do you walk them into where
Exactly,
they need to
what
go?
is
It's all
the
about
layout and
It's
how-
all about. It is. It's all
It is.
about retail, and that's the profit is all about that. You know,
80%
he's really about setting
is
that up.
80% is the atmosphere.
What's my favorite marketing show, Deborah? Do you remember?
The profit.
Wicked Tuna.
I never even saw that.
Okay, Wicked Tuna is a show where they catch big bluefish
Yeah.
tuna,
Oh,
and people think it's weird that I think of it as a marketing show, but it's very much like you, like me.
Right.
You know, you have to catch something to eat, right?
Right.
Because you don't get
Let's do
your
it.
set. Anyway, that's it. I love that show. That's
John
the,
Taffer.
That's the only show that I
I like
watch.
him.
I
Yep.
have a great John Taffer personage, but I got. He's always got like such big eyes. Like, yeah,
I mean, I go out of my way to watch.
clear your throat.
Once again, here's attorney.
Welcome back. I am attorney Stephen A. Leahy, like the guy just said. This is the Trust Radio Network on AM 560.
The Answer.
Here with my nephew, my co-host, my producer, my very good friend, and whatever, Jim Leahy.
Listen, again, as I wear many hats. I'm
Yeah,
like
you-
Sherlock Holmes. You know?
Our technical producer is Deborah Schreiner, and our very special guest, Dr. Mary Olszewski.
Olszewski.
See, I said it.
Yes.
Now, on this segment of the show, what I like to focus on questions that people ask. Okay, so in your profession, I'm sure there's lots of questions that you get. Give me some common questions that you get, or maybe that someone that's listening is thinking, I have a podiatrist here. Here's a question I should ask her. What kind of questions do you get?
So I think the most common question is, who do I see? So a lot of times the biggest common question is, can I come to you for that? And absolutely you should do that. So a lot is what to do about toenail fungus, if they have a mass or something on the bottom of their foot, what to do about ingrown toenails. A lot of people sometimes don't want to do a medically based treatment, and we do kind of work with people with that as well. Can I bring so-and-so?
Well, talk a little bit about that. You said not a medical treatment. What do you mean by that?
Okay, so let's say people have toenail fungus. They don't want to go on the pill to manage their fungus. So we do have
I'm glad you
topical-
clarified that.
Yes, thank you. So we have topical treatments. Sometimes some people don't want to do that. They want to do more in a homeopathic vein. We do have some regimens for that, and we will talk about the efficacy of the different treatments with that too.
Okay, so because these are common problems that people think, well, maybe I don't have to see a
Attorney-
doctor, but it's an ongoing problem, like
Right.
ingrown toenails. I mean, you
Right.
think, well, that's such a common problem, you don't go to a doctor for that, but you should.
Absolutely.
You know, I have another frequently asked question. I'm sure you get it all the time. Do you, if I don't have if I don't have insurance, can I still come to you?
Absolutely, you can. So, we really respect people that work hard and maybe don't have insurance. So we do have cash prices, and really, we are in the business to help people. We want to help you. Yes, we do want to make a living and support our staff and things like that. But we are very fair.
Well, God bless you, because in this day and age, things just get so complicated with the whole insurance mess, and it's great to know that there's a trusted professional, somebody that I could just turn to when there's an issue. Like, hey man, I gotta walk. These feet make me money. I got to start, I got to keep these puppies in order, And Dr. Mary, you're the trusted professional. There's no question about that. Now, I got a foot issue. I'm going to you, Dr. Mary. What's your phone number?
It's 847-398-0900.
Now, let me ask you this: what's the most common ailment that you see?
Probably heel pain. Heel pain, pain in the morning when you first get up, pain after long periods of rest. Typically, it goes into the category of plantar fasciitis. And 97% of all plantar fasciitis is treated and cured without having any surgery. So,
Okay, so let me admit something. I don't know what that is. So tell us what that is. Plantar say it again.
fasciitis. So the fascia is a thick, broad ligament that goes from the heel to the
Uh-huh.
ball of the foot. And when the foot starts to flatten out or it's not supported properly, it starts to pull. When it pulls at the heel, it makes a spur. And when it makes a spur, it's not the spur that's causing the pain, it's the ligament pulling on the heel.
Uh-huh.
So typically we treat that with some support, some orthotics, possibly an injection, maybe a little physical therapy, but 97% of the people will get relief without any surgical intervention.
Well, that's why I love talking to people from professions, because this is stuff that you talk about it like it because it's what you live every day. But the rest of us don't really know what that is. But when you explain it, man, it makes so much sense.
It does, and the quicker you can get in and have us start treating it, the better result you're going to get.
So if you're having some pain, call you.
Right, absolutely.
Don't don't suffer in silence.
No.
So I think that's so important because
It's both of you guys have that, the suffer in silence where, for example, my mother has plantar fasciitis from a previous work. She's got a big issue with the ligament in her foot, and she would go. We kept telling her, go to a podiatrist, and she would not go. She goes, no, I'll take care of it, and and she went to a podiatrist, and she got that taken care of. But so many people, again, they just don't. They just think they can either do it themselves or they get embarrassed.
I think a lot of people don't know what a podiatrist is.
That's right. So podiatrist is a foot and ankle specialist. So we go to school after 4 years of college, and we go to an accredited podiatry school, of which there are 7 in the United States, and then we do residencies after. So we are very, very well trained for anything in the foot and ankle.
There's one here in Chicago, isn't
There is.
where is it?
So I went to Scholl College of Podiatric Medicine, which was downtown in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
They have now merged with Rosalind Franklin, so the medical school and
I
pharmacy
was
school.
very familiar with the Scholl School.
Absolutely. So very good training there, very good clinic, very good teachers.
Well, that's so important. Again, I think so many people don't even know what it is, and so they don't know when they're having some foot problem that there's somebody that focuses on this problem to fix the problem.
All day we do it. Nothing too embarrassing, too small, too big. We're here.
And as I said, if you can't walk, it changes your life.
That's right. Not only in just your health, but getting around,
That's
your
right.
activity.
As I said, these bad boys
Working.
make me money.
So if you're an active person, and all of a sudden you have pain every time you walk, well, you're not going to be so
Imagine
active.
being a server and that's all you do. You're on your feet all the time, and then your foot goes out. So anyway, Dr. Mary, how can I get in touch with you? What's your phone number?
So call me at 847-398-0900, and we will help you get back on your feet again.
I'm telling you, go to Dr. Mary. Is it drmary.org?
It's drmary.org, and the office is Dr. Mary Olszewski and Associates. I do have associates that do work for me.
That's right, drmary.org. Great website. I went there this week. Absolutely beautiful layout. Remember, Open Tax Resolution is the sponsor of the show. 312-664-6649, or visit ChicagoTaxTeam.com. It's going to be your
Hub.
to help fight the IRS. You see what I did there?
That's very good.
Pause and bring it on. So listen to
if I
our
would've
sponsors and come back on AM 560.
The answer. move your
I've-
microphone for
I've
just a
been- I
second.
have been watching.
Just a second, because I want to get a good picture of her for
Mm-hmm.
the cover. Okay, so I just want to show you this.
So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you
So
so
I
much
just-
for
so I
tuning
have
into
this-
our live
that'll be the
stream.
cover of the-
Remember,
of the
again,
video.
Opum Tax Resolution is our sponsor. If you guys are interested, can I see this book over here, Attorney Stephen Leahy? Can you hand me this book?
You see with your eyes, not with your hands.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, look at that picture. That's how I knew you.
Yes.
It's a good picture.
I'm telling you, it's a great picture.
Now,
That was-
on the new,
that was before he climbed
I'm
the
getting a new
stairs.
printing. That's not the new printing. The new printing, though, I think I'm going to do. I'm going to try to put my radio picture on there.
That's right. Look at Attorney Stephen
trying-
Leahy.
Where's his
Right
radio?
here. Listen, if you guys want a copy of this book, the sixth, deal with your IRS problems today. Learn the secrets of solving your IRS problem. Give those good folks a call, 312-664-6649. They'll send you out a free copy of this book. Is it free?
It is free.
Is it free?
It's free.
Tell me one
No,
more
it's
time.
not-
Is it, there's nothing for free.
Well,
Is it
you
free?
know, it's free, but I'm thinking about on the landing page to charge $1, only because then
We'll
you
talk
get-
about
then
that
you get
later.
information.
It's free.
It's
So
free. It is
anyway,
free.
listen, ladies and
And again,
gentlemen.
there's bonuses. If you want a book, call me. I'll give you some bonuses, like a report that says the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money. I'll also send you some tchotchkes. What are they? Tchotchkes?
Tchotchkes.
Yes.
Tchotchkes? What about tchotchkes?
Tchotchkes are like the flashlight that I have.
Gifts.
Pens.
They're just
yes.
gifts.
Oh, gifts. That's what they call them, tchotchkes?
Yes.
That's why they call them
I have a little.
tchotchkes.
I have a little screwdriver thing and that looks like a pen. I give away. I've given these away for Christmas to my clients. I send them out.
Well, anyway, ladies and
Tchotchkes.
gentlemen, we're going to wrap
I
the
like it.
show up with Dr. Mary Olszewski, and we hope you guys are enjoying.
Is there something you'd want to talk about that we haven't talked about?
Well, I just think that let's get the word out there about what podiatry is, and a lot of people don't think about it. And don't be afraid, don't be embarrassed, and come in if we can help you, or any other podiatrist in the area if they can help you. And like I had said, feet are the foundation. It's important.
It is. So let's do
I
that.
would suggest mentioning some of the different things, like you did earlier in the show. If you're dealing with ankle pain, pain in your toe.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
To
Well,
list them off so people hear them and say, I'm dealing with that. Or maybe, like Steven said, their mother's dealing with it,
Mhm.
or their uncle, someone.
or my mother.
Okay.
Thank you, Deborah.
Who's the editor? Deborah?
She's a technical producer.
The editor is for the video. You mean?
Back to the Trust Radio Network on AM 560. The Answer. Real
No.
conversations.
I don't have time.
Most trusted professionals in Chicagoland. Once again, here's attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Welcome back. I am attorney Stephen A. Leahy on AM 560. The
The
answer.
Answer.
Here with my nephew, my co-host, my realtor, Jim Leahy, our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner, and our very special guest today, Dr. Mary Olszewski. And she's a podiatrist. Before we go, I want you to tell us a little bit more about podiatry and the people that need your help and who should come to see you. What kind of symptoms or ailments do you help?
Sure. So podiatrist treats any foot and ankle disorder. So typically some of the things that podiatrists take care of are ankle pain, heel pain, bunions, surgery, hammer toes, pinched nerves, neuropathy, diabetes. We do focus in limb salvage or saving your feet. And
Now, you mentioned
sometimes
earlier diabetes,
We do.
right?
And we are sometimes the primary person that will be seen where we can see a different disease process in your feet. So
I think what's interesting is that you could perform surgery too, don't you?
absolutely, I'm board certified in orthopedics and surgery. Yes.
Man, that's a powerful thing to be able to perform surgery on people. That's talk about a trusted professional, right? You have to be a trusted professional to let somebody do that. To let them.
So I take it you've done a lot of. I take it you've done a lot of surgeries. No, but I did stay in the Holiday Inn last night, so we are.
But no, you've done a lot of surgery.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that right?
Yes, we have. Yes.
Okay, so that's important. Again, because I think that's because sometimes that's what is necessary to make you be able to walk again. Again, I'm only talking for my mom's history, and she's had a number of surgeries on her feet.
Because we've talked about it
Changing
before.
everything.
When the left foot goes down, then all of a sudden you're putting more pressure on the right, and then the right gets thrown
Right.
off, and everything gets thrown off, and next thing you know, you're in a world of hurt that's going to cause more problems than good.
And we're going to run out of time here. So before we run out of time, let me ask you if there's something else that you'd like to talk about. Is there something else you'd like to talk about? Do we cover all the bases? That,
Yeah, we miss anything because we aren't really
how about this?
podiatrist experts.
How about this? Tell us where your office is.
It is at the southwest corner. It's 1804 North Arlington Heights Road in Arlington Heights, Illinois, right at the corner of Arlington Heights Road and Palatine Road.
Not too far from here.
Not far at
here at
all.
Elk Grove Village, where we record
We
the show.
record the show, and are you giving away the secrets
I
of
am.
You're giving away the secrets of the
This
castle?
is inside Hollywood. So that's what we're doing.
The Elk Grove Hollywood.
You know, now you're going to have people standing outside asking for autographs of your book.
That's true. I don't know. I have to deal with that every day.
Yeah, I
so.
know. Listen, I get it. I want to. You didn't even autograph my copy of your book.
Yeah, and I'm
Can
not
I-
going to either.
Well, really?
Yes, I'm not going to. But if you want a book, you should call me at 312-664-6649 or go to 560steve.com.
Deal with your IRS problems today. I don't think you could pick a better title for that because it's down right to the point. Now, we're running out of time. We want to thank you so much, Dr. Mary Olszewski, for coming on and giving us some information on what podiatry really is. And if I have an issue, what phone number can I call to get in touch with you?
Call me at 847-398-0900. And thank you for having me, too.
Well, we had a lot of fun, and I hope you had fun too,
I
because that's
did.
really what our first goal is: have fun.
That's right. Dr.
Thanks.
Mary is a trusted professional. You can catch her at watchtalkradio.com, or you can give Open Tax Resolution a call, 312-664-6649, and visit chicagotaxteam.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning into another great episode of the Trust Radio Network. We'll see you next week here on AM 560.
The answer.
Thank you for tuning in to Trust Radio Network.
All right.
Yay,
Yes.
we did it.
Attorney Steve
I could take these off now?
next Saturday night.
Yes?
Keep them on. We'll wrap it up.
Oh, okay.
Professionals at all of Chicagoland. Enjoy interviews with local professionals dedicated
Deb, you're the best.
I'm so sorry.
I said, she's the best.
I know she kills it.
why they do it. Take a step inside the minds of some of Chicagoland.
I don't know if I really have anything else to say. I don't know if I have anything else to say.
That's all right. We just say goodbye.
With your host, Attorney Stephen Daly. See you right back here next Saturday night at 10 on AM 560.
The answer.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Mary, for coming on and giving us information that really, if you have a foot issue, you need to know. And
I
Dr.
agree.
Mary Olszewski is
I hope you had as much fun as we did.
You know, I really did. I hope you learned something today, too, and I hope the whole listening audience learned something as well.
I don't need to hope because I know Dr. Mary is a trusted professional, so you give her a call. Let's get your phone number one more time.
Okay, it's 847-398-0900.
Awesome. Dr. Mary, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And
Nice
ladies
to
and gentlemen,
reconnect
we
with
will
you
be
too.
back in a couple of minutes. We're going
5
to do
minutes.
the 5 minutes. You got the countdown working? So we got the countdown. Join us in 5 minutes. We'll be back. Got to take pictures. Got to grab some water. We're going to do the IRS Radio Hour here on AM 560.
The answer. Now, you're going to have to use your phone to take a picture of Mary and I.
Yes. Yes, I got. Let's
Take a picture here. on
Now
the
I can
front.
take it off?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're done?
We're done.
And actually, I have people that ask for realtors, so
Oh, God bless you. Thank you so
I
much.
will, absolutely.
Do you like baseball?
Do I like baseball? Who couldn't like
I
baseball
love
being
that
a
answer.
Cub person, right?
I was an idiot. I got Cubs and White Sox once. Well, I wasn't really an idiot. I had 100. Here we are. There's it. I had 100 Cubs ones coming. Ended up the order got botched, so I'm stuck with the Cubs and White Sox. I have to
You know what?
disclose
There's
everybody.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I'm a Cubs guy, so I try not
You know,
to.
I know you are. You were at the Cubs game
Yes.
not long ago. With
I
your
was
son.
there on. I was there on Wednesday
My-
night.
My cousins worked for Pepper Construction, and they were there working like day and night
Oh
to get
my
that
God!
done.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah.
And it was funny because my cousin said, you know, I just sat there and I thought, they have 300 people working 24 hours a day for 7 months. Could you imagine the amount of money that the Ricketts have to?
Oh, I know. And they're
You
gonna,
know?
and
What they have wrapped up in that. whole
Yes.
neighborhood.
Yes.
I mean, that's why you know they're going to do everything they can to make that sure that that's a successful team, because they have so much wrapped up in that.
Right, and what they've spent. I don't know how much it is. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's take a
And you
picture.
know, oh sure.
Let's do it in front here. Take your stuff. Take your stuff, so we don't have to walk
Oh,
you back.
why? You don't want me to walk back?
I don't want. I'm just
Come
trying to
on,
save
I
you
have
some
good
stuff.
feet. And if I don't, I know where.
We're back. More than 5 minutes.
Boy, sometimes you just have so much fun.
I wish I could figure this out.
As I said, you want to end the live stream?
No.
Boy, sometimes you just have so much fun. Next thing you know, we have a show to do. So anyway, thank you guys so much for staying tuned. If you're still there, remember Dr. Mary Olszewski, absolutely phenomenal. Hands down, she's a trusted professional for a reason. She will make sure your feet are properly taken care of. And same thing with the Tracy. Let me see your book. I like this.
No, I won't make sure your feet are. So it's not.
No, you won't. No. Attorney Stephen Leahy will look at your feet and go, Boy, sometimes you just have so much fun. Yeah.
My fault. I did it again.
What did you do?
Oops, I did it again.
What did you do?
I played with your heart.
Chapter 8. 3 things you should never say to the IRS.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Swiftie. I don't know if you know that, Deborah. Do you know that? Obviously.
Never tell the IRS anything unless they have specifically asked for the information.
I say that on my video.
This is huge. What's wrong, Attorney Stephen Leahy? Are you not getting any sound?
No, I'm not getting any sound. It just bothers the shit out of me.
Why you gotta swear like that? Because I'm gonna start swearing.
Because
if you start swearing, I'm gonna start swearing.
Because
I
Deborah doesn't have on her thing.
I'm a very good swearer.
This really troubles me. Whatever.
What can you do?
Well, I thought this was going to solve the problem, but it didn't solve the problem, and I don't even know if I'm on, and whatever.
You're on. I'm watching.
Well, I am watching that too. I know we're on, but we're not. Are we on? Are we on? Or are we on? I'm not sure if we're on. Whatever that means. Okay. Jim, next time make sure that
I'm trying to figure out how to do, because I want to use the Gmail account as our go-to hub, as I said before. Just like you can, how the ChicagoTaxTeam.com
Here's my
hub.
Okay, so I don't want to talk about that.
I don't want to talk about it either.
Um,
With Jack? Yeah.
he's a CPA, Jim.
A SEPA? I'm trying to do something where I can give you tasks each week of remember this, remember this, remember this, and you just check off on it.
That ain't gonna work.
If it goes to your phone,
That ain't gonna work.
I think it will. All right. We ready to rock and roll?
Whenever our friend Deborah, Deborah, see what I did there? I wish the microphones were working on my thing, and it's really troubling me.
Did you make sure it's plugged in?
It is plugged in.
I don't. Let me double check here. It is not working.
I know.
I think the Mevo has taken a turn for the worse.
No, that's because I didn't bring the iPad, and you can't. And then you can't.
Try to push it in a little more on the left. I see some.
What? What are you talking
Push it in.
about? Push what in?
The microphone chip.
The microphone chip. This?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a chip, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Just as far as it goes.
I understand. I pushed it. Maybe I shouldn't have used this today. I should have tried to use it. Whatever. I get caught.
All right.
Bothers me. Why can't I do things right, Jim? Why can't I do things right?
But you can, Attorney Stephen Leahy. I mean, listen, you helped one of my clients with a big IRS problem.
Oh yeah, that's true. Still helping her.
Because you're a good guy.
You know, good guys, Jim. Good guys. They're last. The guys go last. Oh, I sent you something. Did you see that? Now I don't remember what I was talking about.
It was the 80-20 rule.
Oh, it was. Did I give you? Did you?
Yes.
Can
You
you?
sent it to me.
Okay, but where's the? What's the website so I can go there and I can?
Go onto the Gmail account.
Is it? Did I send it to you Gmail? Or did I send it to you text? I thought I sent it to you text.
No, you sent it to me Gmail because you responded to a thing that I was talking. Yeah, the 3 laws of production. And 3 laws of productivity, the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, Parkinson's law. What?
I didn't get that one.
Newton's first law of motion.
Oh, that's right. This is.
See, again, if you go to the Gmail
I
account,
got it already here. But it's the Pareto principle, but also the Price's law, and that's where that comes from. The Parkinson's law is also very, very. It's the work expands to fill the time available. So the more time I put on my calendar for an event, the longer it's going to take me to do it because I'm going to fill the event. I'm going to fill that time. And if I reduce the time, I'm still going to do it. It's just, and you know, one of these things that where you discover this is in like that show I was just talking about, Forged in Fire, where they do this in 6 hours. They build a blade in 6 hours, and these guys think that there's no way they can do this. What's wrong, though? What's wrong?
I'm not good.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm not going to say it over the air. Otherwise, I would have.
Okay, well. What was I railing against earlier on the way here? Oh, I know what I was railing against.
What? All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed. And sorry, I'm updating all social media avenues, trying to keep everybody up to date of what's going on. We had Dr. Mary Olszewski come on, podiatrist, with Dr. Mary and Associates, or Dr. Mary Olszewski and Associates.
I would really like to see Joe Biden and Trump fight it out. Joe Biden said he wants to take him in the back of the place and beat him up. I think Donald Trump can take Joe Biden. What do you think?
No.
You don't think so?
No, did you see Donald Trump in WWE years ago?
I did.
Not the greatest moves.
Okay, David.
All right. Yeah, hopefully everybody's going to enjoy the snowfall. So sick of that. Snow. We have a winter storm watch.
Let's jump on it. Jump on. Is that a song? I'm not sure. Did you? You didn't hear me talk about my us Swifties are aware of. Did you see our new song out from Taylor Swift? She put it out last night at 12 o'clock.
What a magical moment. True Swift fans were awake and ready to watch it.
Actually, I did see it.
The fake fans
Even though I'm not really a real fan, but I did see it. It's a song called Me. She's really being influenced by her left. I think it's a good song still, but she's really being influenced by her left-leaning friends. My own opinion.
God, you were such.
Let's do a show.
Let's do 2 shows. Oh, we already did one. Let's do another show. One more.
Revenue Service, or any other U.S. federal taxing authority or agency, or promoting, marketing, or recommending to another party any transaction or matter addressed in the show. The opinions expressed by the host and the guests are their own and may not be used as authoritative advice. Any use of this material without the written consent of the host is strictly prohibited.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy, on AM 560.
The Answer.
Tune in every week at 5 for an informative discussion about IRS obligations, credit card debt, mortgage default, collection activity, and how to resolve these legal issues using tax resolution, debt settlement, mortgage loan modification, foreclosure defense, and bankruptcy. Your host is Stephen Leahy, and the principal at Open Tax Resolutions and the Law Office of Stephen Leahy, PC. Stephen is the author of Deal with Your IRS Problems Today. IRS and debt issues are serious, but there is help. There are resolutions. So get ready and take notes during the IRS Radio Hour. And now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
Hello, Chicago taxpayers. We are coming to you from Studio C at AM 560 The Answer. This is the IRS Radio Hour.
Client numbskulls and broadcasting.
Now, this show is sponsored by the Law Office of Stephen A. Leahy, PC, and Open Tax Resolutions.
God bless you, Open Tax Resolution.
Open helps people solve IRS problems, people and businesses, and actually business people, because businesses are actually people, and then we help them solve IRS
Some
problems.
people don't believe that.
Well, that's the truth. We help people with audits and levies, liens and garnishments, collections, unfiled tax returns, and payroll tax issues. We also help people with mortgage foreclosures, loan modifications, bankruptcy, and other debt-related issues. So if you have any of these issues, or if you know someone who does, you should give us a call at 312-664-6649. Again, that number is 312-664-6649, or you can visit us on the web at chicagotaxteam.com. Now, I want to let you know that I have republished my earlier book called Deal with Your IRS Problem Today, and I'd be happy to provide you with a copy of that book. And if you go to 560steve.com, you can give me your address and I'll send you a copy along with a bunch of bonus gifts. So I'm going to give you a bonus gift of the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money, and some other bonus reports, and also some tchotchkes, as we say, some pens and things like that.
I like
wanna
that
give
word,
you.
tchotchkes.
I know, I do too. That's why I said it. But I'm going to give you these gifts if you want a copy of my book. And why am I going to do that? Because I know if you're having IRS problems, it takes some time to whether you need a lawyer or not. Sometimes you don't need a lawyer. Sometimes my book can help you that you don't need a lawyer, and it'll help you solve your problem yourself. And that's one of my goals. So if you don't need a lawyer, you can read this book and find out how to solve your IRS problem. So if you have an IRS problem, go to 560steve.com and you can get a copy of my book and all the bonuses that go along with that book. I want to introduce our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner.
Hey guys, good to be with you both.
And
On
Deborah
this
also
snowy weekend.
Deborah also fills in when I forget what I'm supposed to say. Yeah, isn't that something that's supposed to
Can
snow?
you believe it?
Sunday?
We record Friday, the show airs Sunday.
So on-
it is 63 degrees. I'm
so
just
on
telling
Friday,
you, I'm
it's
on
just
this.
beautiful.
It's 63 degrees, and they're saying winter storm watch tomorrow. It's like, excuse me?
And our weatherman today is Jim Leahy. He is also our producer, my nephew, our show's realtor, Jim Leahy.
The kid has class, taste, finesse. What do you say to that?
What do you say to that?
Here's what I have to
What
say
do you
to
say
it.
to that?
Illinois is starting to become less and less attractive.
Wow.
I'm joking.
I'm going
But
to
for
tell
real,
you.
I'll tell you, with this weather,
I saw.
it's not really. Listen, let's just jump right in.
Okay,
let's
do
just
it.
let's
do it,
just
'cause I
dive
that's
right
what I'm
in.
saying.
The news roundup.
Review and comment on the news. So I have a friend of mine, John, and he sent me a story today about tenants in landlords here in Chicago.
Yeah.
That as a landlord, I can't ask you about your criminal record any longer.
Really?
Yes, because they don't want you discriminating against people because they're thieves and liars. Okay, and Now, again, everybody who has a criminal record is not a thief and a liar, but they have a history of being a thief and a liar, right? And so I think if I own a piece of property, I think that's an important piece of information for me to know. You know, have you had any other prior experiences where you cheated someone or stole from them or went to prison? I think that's important for me to know. But now Cook County has said, no, you can't ask that question. And I keep saying, man, Illinois it's getting worse every day. It's more and more
crazier and crazier.
I don't know if you saw this. There was 500 kids on Michigan Avenue. 500.
Oh yeah, did you see that?
They arrested a bunch of them, but we know that our friend, the state's attorney, Kim Foxx, won't prosecute any of them. Okay, because that's not the kind of crime that she wants to prosecute. So we're going to let 500 kids go on Michigan Avenue and cause chaos and havoc, and we're not going to do anything about it. What do you think is going to happen the next time?
I know you're setting a precedence, and people are not going to be held
there's
accountable.
There's no accountability.
It's the same thing with your friend Jussie Smollett.
I know.
Listen, the guy is coming out and trying to create a racial tension throughout the city and the
for
country.
his own benefit.
And you're not going to do anything.
I don't know if you
about
saw
it.
this, Jim. But,
You're not going to do
but
anything.
his
Oh,
cast
yeah, I did
man,
see this.
his
I did see
cast members have come out and said, "We want him back. If you don't we demand that you bring him back." Now, what kind of people are going to demand that this guy is brought back on the show? He put all of your jobs in jeopardy because he's on your show and everybody that's watching the show, he puts your job in, and you're going to reward him by standing behind him.
I will tell you, I have not watched a minute of that show.
I've never seen it.
Nor do I.
Well, maybe they don't. That's why they don't care. Maybe that's not their market. But let me tell you this: I thought it was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Maybe you saw this that his attorneys they brought a case against his attorneys for defamation. Did you see this?
No, I did not.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So the two brothers.
I did see this.
The two brothers.
I did see this.
Have brought an action against not him, because he hasn't said anything public. He has mouthpieces who say things in public, and that's his lawyers. And so they have sued his lawyers for defamation. And they're, this is just ridiculous. We're not really talking for it. Well, somebody's going to be held responsible because you're making these guys into criminals and liars and cheats and racists and all of this stuff.
Cheat!
And you're making them out in public, and that's what defamation is, right? Putting someone in a bad public light. And what's more bad public light than saying that these guys are lying and that all this is on their fault and this guy's innocent? Now, we need something like that, because then you'll get that in the courtroom, and we need to get into a courtroom and prove what happened that night. Okay, because he's telling us that he's innocent. We at least I think he's not innocent. My own opinion, and maybe he is, and maybe he isn't. But I don't think he is, and I think we need. It's a very similar thing happened to O.J. Simpson. He went to trial. He was found. He wasn't found guilty. But then he went to then they brought him in trial for wrongful death, and he was found responsible for that death. And so I thought it brought a lot of it, and that's what we need here. We need someone to bring him to court, whether it's his lawyers or Chicago bringing him to pay for the fees that he should have paid for causing this problem, and then securing that he is responsible for this, and not let him skate away and try to say that he's innocent. And because that's what now he's been persecuted. Now he's even more of a what's wrong, Jim?
I'm just looking at snowfall total.
Snowfall, unbelievable.
6 to 9 inches.
So here we go. The Cubs opening day, 65 degrees. One of the best opening.
It was 73. I was there.
One of the best weather opening days in 40 years. The next Sunday, it snows. The next Sunday, I come back from Mexico. It snows.
And then Easter.
The next Sunday. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Now this Sunday, more snow. It's unbelievable. As my favorite broadcaster, Harry Carey, would say, if you don't like the weather in Chicago, just wait a minute.
Oh, and it'll be again. It's a thing. I'm ready to take like 900 aerosol cans and just stand on them.
I don't know.
You want to play Mother Nature? Here you go.
If that would help, but
I know. Everybody has their opinions, but I'm just saying through the narrative. Oh, it's a CO2. Start the cars, let them run, baby, because we're fighting back.
We need some heat.
We're fighting back here. Yeah, that's right. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
I don't get it.
We got a great show
So
lined
there's
up
my
for you
rant.
today.
There goes my rant.
Yeah, there you
about
go.
that.
You're ranting
I
like
know.
crazy
I
today.
know.
Attorney Stephen Leahy's fired up, and as she should be, because our next segment we're going to be talking about.
I'm going to talk about the things that are happening in my office this week.
And there's a lot going on, ladies and gentlemen, because, again, the IRS was out of business for a while, and all of a sudden they come back into business, and I'm sure you're just lit up with a bunch of
That's
of
true.
clients.
That's true.
Also, too, we have Mr. Know-It-All. We have the Constitution segment, which will be a little different this week, and then we're going to wrap the show. Listen, we got a great show lined up for you. That's what we're trying to say. And remember, open tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649, and visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to help fight the IRS. Listen, do not let Mother Nature bring you down. It's going to get warm eventually, I hope. I keep saying that.
I
but
keep
don't-
hearing that
I
that summer
don't
might
know.
come on the weekend this year.
I hope so. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned on AM 560.
The answer. I love that joke.
Historic and record-breaking late season snowstorm.
I don't know if that's true. We'll see.
They're calling for 6 to 9 inches of snow up here. Like what?
6 to 9 inches of snow.
6 to 9.
They're exaggerating. I don't think
They didn't exaggerate. No, this is different this year because these low pressure systems are coming in and just spinning and just creating havoc, bringing cold air down from Canada.
Can you map that for us, Jim?
The HRRR models.
It's it's 65 at the crib.
It's 60. It is 64 degrees outside, and I have a
A winter storm.
winter storm warning
That is kind of weird, isn't it? That is kind of weird.
in April.
That's kind of weird.
What? Stop it! Leave me alone.
I get it.
You can't give us snow on Christmas, but you give me it in April? What is wrong with you, Mother Nature? Damn you.
Damn you.
Somebody must not have said. I went to church last week, too.
I think that might be it.
There's a swath of snow. We're going to be right in the middle of it, 6 to 9 inches, and a little bit below that, 1 to 3 on the south side. Sweet Jesus.
Sweet Jesus.
Like, go away.
I love Jesus.
I hope he's not doing this.
It's not his
What are you
fault.
talking about for the podcast?
I am going to talk about the IRS protection plan. I think I'm changing the name though to IRS Protection Team because IRSProtectionPlan.com has already been taken. So I haven't decided that yet though.
Welcome back to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy. Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans
Thousands!
financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back. I am your host. I'm attorney Stephen Lee. Like the guy just said, don't you listen?
I listen.
This is the IRS Radio Hour. I am here with our technical producer, Deborah Schreiner, my co-host, Jim Leahy, here on AM 560.
The Answer.
And this is our blog segment. Oh,
It's okay.
ba-na-ba-da-bam, bam, bam,
It's okay.
bam.
What are we talking
Well,
about?
but before I go into the blog segment, what I wanted to do is to talk about Trust Radio Network, okay? Because we have a very special guest on next Saturday night at 10 o'clock when the Trust Radio Network airs. We have Dr. Mary. Say it.
Dr. Mary is going to be on the
Dr.
show.
Mary. Oh, I'm sorry.
Dr. Mary Olszewski.
Olszewski,
yes.
correct.
What? I was.
It's just like it.
drmary.org.
That's
If you'd
right.
like to visit her website.
That's right.
Actually, Deborah, I visited the website this week. It was very nice.
It's a great interview with Dr. Mary.
She tells you what podiatry really is.
And how important it is. I mean, your feet are really the base, no pun intended, of your well-being. It really is, and you're going to find it out because she's a great guest, very personable, very nice, Went to John Hersey High School.
Lucky you.
So-
You guys at John Hersey are making
we
moves
have,
over there.
we are. It's so we have a long history. But anyway, join us next Saturday on the Trust Radio Network right here on AM 560. The Answer. Okay, so I wanted to say that. Now in the blog segment, what I wanted to talk about is, and we've talked about this on the show, but my job as an attorney, as I see it, kind of different than most others, I think, is to not only solve your IRS problem, but help it stay solved. Okay, because too often, right, I would help people solve their IRS problem, and the next year or the next 2 years, they're coming back and they still have the same problem because they don't change their behavior. Part of the behavior, no matter what kind of a remedy you come up with the IRS, whether it's a installment agreement or offer in compromise or a currently not collectible status, no matter what it is, you have part of the agreement is that you're going to stay in compliance. And compliance means that I must file my tax returns on time and pay my taxes as they come due, right? Because this is where the cascading tax problem comes in that we've talked a lot about on this show. That I always, people are always fighting the tax problem behind them. So they had a tax problem last year, they had a tax problem the year before, and they're fighting to fix that problem. But all they're doing is creating another problem for next year because they're going to owe again and they're not going to file their tax returns again, or they're because that's just their behavior. They just go back into the same behavior that they've always had and they haven't changed. So what I'm trying to do is not only solve your IRS problem, but help you change your behavior and keep you in a compliance. Okay, so typically what happens when you hire someone to fix your IRS problem, they fix it, they get you an installment agreement, they disengage, they withdraw their power of attorney, and they kind of wash their hands of you. Okay, bye, you're done. But that's not what we're trying to do. Okay, we want to fix your problem and keep it fixed. It's even cheaper because what happens is when you go back to your old behavior, you're going to have to hire someone again to do the same thing that you already had done, and you're never going to fix the problem. Remember now, there is also a 10-year statute of limitations. So if I can stop having an IRS problem in the future, the longest that this can last is 10 years. I mean, that's a long time, but as we all know, that goes by in a blink of an eye. It has for me at least. And so, but if you keep creating more problems, you're just, it's another 10 years, another 10 years. It'll never go away. Okay, so if you want the problem to go away forever, and that's my goal for my clients, keep it, not only solve your IRS problem, because that's important, you have to solve it, and you have to solve it in the best way possible, but also to keep it solved. Now, another thing, what happens when you come up with some of these agreements, so for instance, if I get currently not collectible status because things are tough right now, and I tell the IRS and I prove to the IRS, right now I can't pay you, IRS, and they say, okay, great, we're not going to come after you. But that doesn't mean your debt is gone. And if I start making more money in the future, the IRS might come back and say, hey,
how many times do you see that where people just say, we just did a segment where you were talking about just that. Hey, if I hire you, do I have to do anything? Exactly. And that's the issue where it's like, it's the same thing. It's like the IRS is going to, say, hey, you don't worry, we won't come after you now. And everybody thinks, we're good, we're gravy. Because
some of the solutions are only temporary solutions. Okay, like currently not collectible, like a partial installment agreement. So sometimes I'm only going to pay the IRS what I can, based on how much I can pay them, not based on how much I owe them. So I might owe them $200,000, but I can only pay $500 a month. Well, if I paid $500 a month for 1 year, right, that's $6,000. And if I did that for 10 years, that's 60 grand. Well, that doesn't even begin to pay what I owe. Right? And so if I start making more money later, the IRS might come back because they know what I'm making, right? Because I'm reporting it on my tax return. Mm-hmm. And if my income goes up, they might call me later and say, hey, maybe you could pay more than $500 now. You owe us 200 grand. Can you pay more now? And so sometimes you have to go back and pay again. And if you're not then you have to go back to another lawyer, or you do it yourself, and that's what got you in trouble in the first place, okay? So what we're trying to do in the IRS protection plan, or the IRS protection team, on our IRS protection team, is to protect you not only solve this problem now, but keep it solved. Okay, so a lot of people are very good at what they do. I'm a very good doctor. I'm a very good lawyer. I'm a very good whatever, pick it. Because I run my own business. I'm very good at what I do. But I'm not very good at the paperwork. So maybe I have the wrong business formation. I should be in a subchapter S. You may not even know what that is, right? Or maybe I should have an LLC, or maybe I should set up a payroll, or maybe I should. These are all things that have an effect on your IRS problem, but not really caused by the IRS problem. Okay, so this all kind of comes together, and this is why you need a lawyer and not just some CPA or some other outfit from out of town that's going to try to fix your problem fast and walk away and take your money and not really help you solve your problem. My goal is to solve your problem. Not only now, but forever.
Today.
But forever.
That's right.
Okay, and so we do.
You're kind of taking my tagline. Let's think about tomorrow today.
No, well, forever. So we want you to do.
Forever's a long time.
When you get into the IRS protection plan, it also we do your taxes every year now. So now you don't have to worry about who's going to do my tax returns. You shouldn't do your own tax returns. And one of the reasons why you shouldn't do your own tax returns, first, because you might get it wrong. But secondly, you're much more likely to get audited if you do your own tax return, right? You're much more likely to get audited. And I don't want you to get audited. Being audited stinks. Okay,
it's a nightmare. Everybody,
you should do all you can to prevent that being audited.
I mean, I opened up your book right here. I think I turned to chapter 8, and in chapter 8, we again, if I wanted to get your book, I would just call 312-664-6849.
Or you can go to 560steve.com. There's a form there. You can give me your address, and I'll send you my book.
Some great information right here. The 3
things
things you should never say to the IRS. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good advice.
And because what happens when you don't have a lawyer is they come to your house and they call it a field visit. We're going to do a field visit, and that means they're going to knock on your door and they want to talk to you. And
what to do if the IRS thinks you owe them money? That's chapter 5. I'm just kind of scanning through this book. It's very easy read. There's no pictures, which kind of throws me off, but I'm joking. Anybody can know.
You're not joking. There aren't any pictures.
No, there are. No, I wasn't joking about that, but I can read. So, believe it or not.
So again, the IRS Protection Plan is a program that we have at the office that I'm trying to solve your problem, not just now, but in the future, and to chart a course for success. And that's what you need.
Chapter 16, how to eliminate any IRS penalty. This is great information. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, if you're looking for a copy of Deal with Your IRS Problems Today, written by attorney Stephen Leahy, you give him a call, 312-664-6649, to visit chicagotaxteam.com, or you can go to 560steve.com, and you'll be able to fill out a form and get this book. Remember, don't be embarrassed. Don't sit
along
there.
with all the bonuses.
That's right, with all the bonuses. Listen, there's a lot of people that have the same problem that you have when it comes to the IRS. Don't feel embarrassed about it. Address it today. Call Open Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649. Now we're about to go into a commercial break, but stay tuned. More great content's on the way here on AM 560.
The answer. I really messed that up, didn't I?
No, you did a great job. And ladies and gentlemen, you can do a great job.
Talk about the picture.
Oh, yeah, you kept hitting it. I don't know what you're thinking there. I'm about to, historic and record breaking. You want to hear some great information?
Yes.
Let me try to figure out, where is it? This will be for... As mentioned earlier in this article, this will likely be a historic and record-breaking late-season snowstorm for portions of northern Illinois. To put this in perspective, Chicago has never seen a 6+ inch snowfall after April 6th. And it has never seen 3+ inches of snowfall beyond today's date.
Is that right?
Ever. We got 9 of it coming. With thunder, snow, and everything. The bells and whistles are coming out Friday, end of April.
I don't mean to.
I'm about to rant. I'm so upset and just done with this.
I don't mean to make.
So done with this.
I love that word, kit and caboodle. Is that one word or multiple words? I'm not sure.
Is it a kitten inside of a caboodle?
Is it kit and caboodle? Is it kitten and caboodle? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Let's do some
kit and caboodle.
Model soundings show conditions highly favorable for banding of heavier snow, very heavy snowfall rates, and thunder snow.
Okay, so I don't mean to be provocative or anything like that, but what's up with this global warming thing? How can they claim global warming and then I know
It's global climate change.
I know it's climate change. I get it. I got it. But I don't. And I know they're going to tie this to that. It's everything's tied.
Well, that's your anecdotal experience. It doesn't. You're not looking at the greater picture. Whatever. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. You know what? I don't care.
They only say that when it doesn't
get it warm. Melt them.
It's extreme weather
Melt 'em.
circumstances. So you've got these big swings where.
But that's always
you have a
been the
very warm
case.
day on Easter, and then 2 weeks later, there's thunder snow. I think that's what the argument is.
Well, again, it's always kit and capital. I'm trying to look up kit and caboodle. But
Let's not look it up. Let's just roll right in.
well, whenever Deborah's ready, we'll do the next segment.
I'm ready. Constitution segment.
We're gonna introduce it as the Constitution segment, but I'm doing something a little bit different.
Historic snowfall. You son of a bitch.
You're listening to the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy on AM 560 The Answer. Attorney Stephen Leahy brings his passion and expertise to your radio each and every week during the IRS Radio Hour. Tune in, take notes, and be educated. Learn your options resolving financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, attorney Stephen Leahy.
From 1788 until the end of time, we the people make a resolution to defend the Constitution.
We're not going to sit here and listen to you badmouth the United States of America.
So let liberty, justice, and freedom ring. It's the Constitution segment.
Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
Well, welcome to the Constitution segment. And, I'm all fired up about this because some time ago, a couple weeks ago, first I want to welcome you back to the IRS radio.
This is the IRS Radio
on
Hour.
AM 560.
The Answer. We want to
Um,
thank you guys for tuning in.
And I want to thank Deborah Schreiner as our technical producer and my.
There's so much we can talk about. We can talk about how Illinois wants to use the FOID card system, and you have to provide all of your social media information to be eligible to have a FOID card,
Wow.
which is unconstitutional in the first place.
Wow.
But that's regardless. I want to.
I do believe that the
I do
FOID
too.
card is
I do too.
unconstitutional.
It is, but you know what? We're not going to go there because again, I don't practice law. I just
anyway,
follow it.
A couple weeks ago, my co-host Jim was at my house, and he got me listening to this Razor Fist, who's and I don't know if any of you have had this walk through YouTubes where one thing leads you
You
to
go down
another.
the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and yes, I did that with the flat Earth thing.
Yeah.
When we were watching.
You got
we were
wild.
watching.
on
What
that.
was that on?
It was Joe Rogan,
Joe
and
Rogan
then all of a sudden,
Experience.
and then all of a sudden,
And then I started
all of a
fighting.
sudden-
He's like, "Hey, go look at the video," and I did. I started following the video, and no, I'm not a flat earther, so I get it.
Yeah, please clarify that for everybody.
But I'm not a flat earther. But I did watch the videos to see why this was.
Who is really believing this? Who believes
this seemingly
this?
sane man was telling me that there might be that.
It wasn't Joe Rogan, by
But
the
anyway, I'm running out of time already because I wanted to talk about the Pareto principle. And
What is that?
And this is why it has to do with the Constitution, because our founders understood one thing, that equality of opportunity is not equality of outcome, and liberty gives us the ability to all reach our own levels, okay? And we should all be able to reach our own levels. And we should have a system that encourages people to reach their own level. But that's the antithesis of socialism.
The antithesis.
So the Pareto principle, and I started this razor
80-20
fist.
is-
Razor fist brings me to this other guy, Stefan, whatever his name is, which brings me to the Jordan Peterson, and they're talking about this Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule, and anybody in business understands the 80-20 rule, and that 80% of your problems come from 20% of your clients. 20% of your income comes from 80% of your income comes from 20% of your clients. But there's another one. It's called the price law, and the price law deals with the square root of productivity. So in any creative endeavor, the square root of the number of people involved produce half the result. Okay. Now this is so powerful. It was like an epiphany to me, because when you have 10 people in your office and you have 10 salesmen, 3 of them are going to produce half the result. So you have some real big hitters, and the rest of them are just doing. Okay. So if you have 100 employees, only 10 are doing half. If you have 10,000 employees, 100 are doing half of the work. Half of the value. This is amazing. And if you think about the number of books that are written,
But how
the
does
number
this tie
of movies
into,
that are made,
How does this tie into the Constitution segment?
again, liberty. Okay, because we have to realize that that a very small percentage of the people
not everybody's
produce a great number of value that the rest of us kind of piggyback on, and without people like Edison and Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and all of these guys who do these great things, who've given value in spades to the rest of us. They make a lot of money, and we have a 1% or a 5% that make a lot of, but that's the way things work, and you can't stop that. You can't. You know what happens and we've been in since 1960. We've been trying to do this war on poverty, and we keep taking money away from people and giving it to the people on the bottom, and we know what happens. It all goes back to the top. Because that's the way things work. And this is why I want you to, part of this, I always want you to read the decision or something. Look into the Pareto principle. See what a powerful, and the price law on top of that, and how powerful that is, and how much it explains why, for instance, socialism can never work, and why our capitalist society is imperative to the success of mankind. And it really is. And
it's not perfect.
It's not a small. No, nothing's perfect. But it's not a small matter. It's not a
Exactly.
incidental.
I agree with that.
Okay,
I agree with that.
and
This
some
isn't-
people are
This
more.
didn't just happen accidentally.
Some people produce more than others. That's just a fact.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. The IRS is coming after you. And you think you're part of the 20% that's producing 80% all the, let's start breaking it down. Well, 20% of the
it's absolutely
IRS
true.
is doing 80% of the deals, right?
That's
Maybe, I don't know the numbers. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Open Tax Resolution, 312-664-6649. Stay tuned. More great content on the way here on AM 560.
The answer.
This is unbelievable.
You can always tell when you and I are not on the same page, Jim.
What do you mean?
You can always tell when you and I are not on the same page.
What is your...
That's exactly what he means. Just now.
We're on the same page. I don't get it.
You're obsessed with this weather.
I'm just so
pattern,
upset.
he's
I'm just
caught up
so
in the
upset.
clouds. Weather pattern.
Very good. Actually, what I meant is he didn't want me to talk about the Pareto principle on this segment, and you don't get where I was coming from. But
I get where you're coming from.
and sometimes I rant. And that's what I do. I'm a ranter. I understand. Same thing I was ranting about and then you brought me back to Dr. Mary. What's her name? Olszewski.
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 What are you talking about for Mr. No-No?
Oh, I had it too. Yeah, it's on my phone. I can't look at my
What is the question you want?
phone. I have it on my phone, but I can't really look at it on my phone, so I'm gonna have to wing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for paying attention, staying tuned.
Ask me about my new book.
Yes.
Not that book, but my new book. And then I'll talk about my new book.
Can you see that?
What does it say?
Well, we'll talk.
Stocks record high. GDP big. Oil prices plunge. Economy surprises.
Stephen has helped hundreds of Chicagoans recover from financial disaster, and he wants to help you and your family. There are resolutions, and you will hear about all those resolutions during today's informative discussion on the IRS Radio Hour on AM 560 The Answer. Now, here's your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
I am the tax man, and here on AM 560 The Answer. I'm also the tax man on another station that I'll be on often with my friend David Hochberg on Saturdays, so I'll be there too. But today, what I want to say, I'm looking through Drudge Report, and I'm just stocks record high, GDP big, 3.2%, oil prices plunge, economy surprise strength. Just amazing to me.
Thunder snow is coming.
Thunder snow is coming.
It already happened.
Be wary of robot
By the
emotions.
time this got-
Simulated love is never love.
We recorded Friday, show airs Sunday.
So we're just
and,
anticipating this.
We're anticipating. I mean, I'm looking out the window right now, and it is sunny, beautiful,
yes.
nice, 63 degrees. I can't imagine. Anyway, let's just go right.
Did you have a question?
And now, here's that man with a hint just cram full of knowledge, Mr. Know-It-All.
Mr. Know-It-All, the segment where Attorney Stephen Leahy gives us his infinite wisdom on all things taxes. But this week is not going to be about taxes, Attorney Stephen Leahy. I'm throwing a curveball your way. That's right. One of the questions I'm going to ask, this is a two-parter. You mentioned you have a book.
I do have a book that I just recently
How can I get a hold of
republished.
that?
You can go to 560steve.com and you can ask for a copy. And if you ask for a copy, if you go there and you ask for a copy, I'm going to throw in a bunch of bonuses. For instance, I'm going to give you a report that says the 6 things you can do if you owe the IRS money, okay? And some other surprise bonuses that I'm going to throw in. So if you go to 560steve.com, and you fill out the form, I'm going to send you a copy of my book. And the reason why I have a reprinting of my old book is because I have a new book coming out.
A new one?
Yes, and this is really about the IRS Radio Hour. The working title is IRS Chicago IRS. No, not Chicago. IRS Answer Man answers your IRS questions. Okay,
That's a lot to say.
yes, the IRS Answer Man, and then underneath answers your IRS questions. Okay, because this is from the show. I've written a lot of blog posts. Remember that the second segment of the show is the blog segment, and I've written a lot about IRS issues, and I'm going to use that writing for the blogs that I've written and create this book. This is my new book. IRS.
It's a good book.
Yes.
It's the good book.
IRS Radio Hour.
It's not the good book, is it?
No, the good book is the good book. This is a good book, not the good book. But anyway, I answer a lot of questions that you might have about IRS problems. So, and again, what happens is when people start having IRS problems, so you can nip it in the bud, as my friend Barney Fife used to say. If you had some information, you might be able to just stop it now, and instead of letting it grow, because IRS.
I have some of your book. I have your book right here.
Yes.
And we'll go through. But
Which book
continue,
is that?
please.
That's
This is the deal with your IRS problems today.
today.
We've talked about that multiple
That's
times
right.
on the show. So if you're just tuning in, you can go on to YouTube, or you can go to ChicagoTaxTeam.com, or you can go to WatchTalkRadio.com, and you can get all this information.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, we'll make it readily available for you. But I mean, if you open it up, this is great. Can you discharge your taxes in bankruptcy? I remember that question.
Well, and I've had that question here on the show, and the answer. What's the answer, Deborah? Sometimes depends, right?
Or is your ex-spouse to blame for your IRS mess?
This is
We
what
just
the-
talked about that 3 weeks
And
ago.
this is called an innocent spouse defense.
How to end payroll tax problems.
Oh, that's a big one. And
I mean,
that's what-
I'm just going through the
I
book.
know.
There's a lot of great information here. If you guys catch the trend, ladies and gentlemen, you may be eligible for a $25,000 loan from the IRS.
Well, this is what they're talking about, the streamline. That's what I'm talking about in that, the streamlined payment plan.
Can you go into more about, because I don't remember ever talking about
Well,
this.
we have talked about installment agreements, and
Yeah, the installment
there's
agreement,
different
yes.
levels where you are. So if you owe less than $10,000 to the IRS, then you could set up a payment plan automatically. They'll give it to you. So you owe the IRS money instead of borrowing money from a friend or family member or a credit card. You could repay the IRS over a period of time, and they'll let you. So in that sense, it's a loan. They're loaning you the money to pay them, and they won't put a lien on you. They won't as long as you set up this payment plan and you make the payments, they won't bother you, and it won't really have an effect on your credit score or anything like that. Sometimes when people get into IRS problems, that's one of the big things that happen. They owe the IRS money. The IRS gets a lien against you, and that lien will have an effect on your credit score, and therefore affecting all of your other financial. Like I can't get a loan now. I can't buy a house. I can't get a car.
Great
because I have a
information in
lien.
here.
Yeah,
Absolutely great information in here. I mean, we've how to stop hurting yourself. Chapter 7. What does that mean by not filing tax returns?
So that's what I'm talking about.
What you could do if you're not paying not paying future taxes, if you're employed, if you're self-employed. I mean, it's just amazing. 3 things you should never say to the IRS. We talked about Chapter 8. I mean, there's a lot of great information here, and you guys should sign up for this book. How can we do it, Attorney Stephen
Go
Leahy?
to 560steve.com. And you can fill out a form, and I'll send you a bunch of bonus stuff. Or you can just call us at 312-664-6649, and you can ask Bonnie, hey, Bonnie, give me a copy of the book, and she'll take your information.
I feel like everybody should have a copy of this book.
I agree. Anyway, I hope that answered your question.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All. Again, I think that everybody should have a copy of this book just to have lying
agree.
around.
I agree.
Oh my gosh, I'm having this issue. What should I do? Oh, Chapter 7 tells me to or Chapter 50. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Open Tax Resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649, and visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub to fight the IRS. For God's sakes, you got a great picture of Attorney Stephen Leahy, young Attorney Stephen Leahy on here.
A couple of years ago.
That's still a great picture, though. I remember that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Open Tax Resolution. Listen, we're going to wrap the show up IRS Radio Hour style, but before we do that, listen to our sponsors and come right back here on AM 560.
The Answer. It's actually 10 years ago now.
I know. I was a little boy. Little boy.
That's actually 10
with
years
a baseball bat.
And I know, I love that song. I think what I'm going to do is in a new reprint, I put a picture of me behind the microphone and
with me too.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, I've got a book.
I think you should write your own book.
I'm going to write a book called How to Make Money When You're Stupid. I'm joking. I'm not going to. Listen, I'm going to actually write a book on how to properly tell a joke.
If you knew that, then maybe you'd have some money. Did you see all the people dying at the Grand Canyon? It's not really more people dying, but a lot of people have died, and a lot of people who die at the Grand Canyon, they say, well, let's put more barricades up and stuff. But a lot of times when people die, they go over the barricade and they die. So barricades don't help. Now I did go to the
I mean, are they accidental deaths? Or
Yes.
are these
No, some people have committed suicide, but a lot of it are a lot of people accidentally die. They start trying to take a selfie of themselves,
Yeah, selfies.
and like and they fall off. I'm telling you.
I would never do. That's why I can never if you're
Footage of how someone sounds.
yeah, if you're standing on the edge of somewhere and you look up, you get all dizzy. It's like, oh.
I'm gonna tell you, I was
You
at
have to get 2 inches from the edge for this selfie to mean anything.
I was at the rim of the Grand Canyon, and my wife took the picture. She would not go anywhere near the edge.
I would not either.
And I was kind of near the edge, but
living on the edge.
Stopping at the edge.
You're at the edge, yes. You're at the edge. There was nothing behind you. Okay, it's all downhill from there, mister. That's kind of scary. And they got pictures. There was that guy that, I think you and I were talking about this, Jim. There's the guy who does all those stunts up on the buildings. You see him do flips, and they found him at the bottom of the building. He died.
Shocking.
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's cool that you do all this stuff, but it's and what he put all this stuff on his Instagram account, I read, and he only had 50 people on it. So it's not like he had thousands of people on his Instagram and then he's making all this money on it. He didn't make any money on it. He just was stupid. My own opinion.
I don't know. Some
It's
people are
ballsy.
thrill seekers.
I give him that. And I look at this stuff, I can't even watch it. It's like, why do you do stuff like that? Hanging from one hand from a 40-story building. It's just, why do you? Oh, I could do it. Okay, you could do it, but it's kind of stupid.
It's a matter of time,
Yes.
and before they fall.
And when you do things like that, what do you have to do next? You have to get more risky, right? And the more, and this is risky enough, but no, now you want to really push the edge. And when you push the edge, you're over the edge and you're going to fall. I mean, that's just the way it is. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What do you-
Ready to wrap this show up?
What do you like? better?
IRS radio hour style.
What do you like better? Look at that. That's my new logo. That.
Like, I don't like the multiple colors because you can't.
I don't either because I like
I don't like.
those.
To the IRS.
I like more. You can't get too because then you can't read it.
560 Theater.
What?
Attorney Steve
Don't get too fancy with the fonts.
and expertise to your radio each and
Who
every
did that for you?
during the IRS radio
Ad properties.
Take notes.
Part
They
of-
did it for you?
Yeah, it's part of the package.
Learn your
I pay enough.
financial obstacles that face so many. And now, back to the IRS Radio Hour with your host, Attorney Stephen Leahy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still around after this wintry weekend, we're here with you. Actually, we're not. We record Friday show or Sunday. I don't even know what happens this weekend. All I know is I'm yelling about it.
I hope you're wrong. That's
I
all.
hope I'm wrong too. I hope I come back next week and go, wow. Remember when they called for snow? Not a drop.
Get ready for a wintry mix.
I'm like reading what it's saying, and
While
it's,
you're all holed up at home, fighting the snow, listening to the IRS radio hour. Right?
I mean, the buds are on the trees, the birds are chirping, everybody's having a good time. Why did they have to?
I know.
Minnesota's up there going, woo!
It's gonna
We'll
be
miss that one.
Jim. It's gonna be okay.
I don't know if it will be, Deborah, because
I think it'll be okay.
I'm
Even
done
if
ma-
it snows, it'll be fine.
we never make predictions on
I
the
can tell
show.
you by the next Sunday, it may be another 75. This has been the pattern. See a pattern? You see a pattern there, Jim? Snow, nice. Snow, nice. Snow, nice.
It's not snow nice.
Very good. Very good, Jim.
Thank you. That'll be part of my book.
I'm not going to mention. I'm looking at the Drudge Report, and so there's lots of stuff on there. You know what's not on here is that Taylor Swift's new song is out. I just wanted to let you know that
Because
because I'm a Swiftie. We're Swifties.
you're unbelievable. With that bubblegum smile of
When
yours.
I was in Mexico,
Are you voting for Crazy Joe?
Marcus's wife Farah is a big Taylor Swift song, and she had questions for me because she didn't believe that
Did you bond over that?
she did have questions. She didn't really believe
Did
that
you sing a Taylor Swift song at karaoke?
I don't karaoke. I never.
If 100 people write in with a question,
Oh, you
the
said
IRS radio
That's
hour,
right. Yes.
Stephen
Yes.
Leahy
We'll do a karaoke.
only if it's a Taylor Swift song, like Mean.
Alright.
Maybe I'll
But
do
you have
Mean.
to get a henna tattoo and then do.
I had that. It's gone. They were exactly right that it would be 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks and it's
What
gone.
about a henna tattoo of Taylor Swift's face?
Oh, that's a Tay-Tay, as I like to call her.
God.
I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan.
Next
of the
year when I
Cubs.
go away with the radio station, and I'm going.
Hold on, stop.
I'm going to get the 560
Your logo
AM.
with the fire sticking up the split.
right.
Listen, have you seen hockey this week?
Was that a game? Oh, everybody knows when you say that's the game. That's
I
the
don't
game.
know what you're talking about
Oh.
because also too Carolina was an unbelievable.
I know,
I was
but-
at the Cubs game. I missed Javier Baez's home run. It was right in my section 2 in the bleachers.
Where were you?
I was downstairs watching the hockey game because they tied it. What's going on? It's playoff hockey.
know.
But then he hits a home run, so I go running up
But
and I
that-
see Jason
that-
Hayward's
from,
3-run.
From now
home run.
on, that's the hockey game. That they come back 4 goals in a 5 minutes period and then they tie it up with 40 seconds left. And what a great game!
I fell
that was.
asleep.
Not because of the game.
No, but it was like the beginning of third period. I fell asleep.
Because they were down 3-0. It seemed like
It's not the
this
Hawks.
game's
What do
over.
I care?
This game's
It's
over.
done. Give it a.
But unbelievable.
Give it a rest.
Did you see the forecheck? They forechecked and the guy goes down. They give him a 5-minute major penalty, and they come back and they score 4 goals in 5 minutes. Unbelievable.
That's
Talk about a fire, lighting a fire under the old team. What a stupid thing to do if you're the other team. On the captain, they did that to the captain. And
Look at me. I am the captain now.
it lit a fire on them, and there was no stopping them.
I'll tell you
And So
what.
if you have a fire lit, we should light a fire under you to solve your IRS problem.
A lot of people feel it need
get a
that
book.
fire
Get a
lit,
book from me.
lit up under them. Same thing too if you're trying to buy a home. And if you, we're going to buy one next year. Well, let's light the fire up under you and let's get you approved for a loan
Get a
so we can
small
be.
one.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen,
Nice
remember,
analogy.
open tax resolution is there for you. 312-664-6649.
Or 560 Steve IRS.com for the book.
That's correct.
right.
And don't forget, next year we can have Joe Biden as our president. So let's do something about that.
312-664-6649. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you had a wonderful time. Remember, listen to the Trust Radio Network next Saturday with Dr. Mary, a wonderful
Yes.
podiatrist. And remember,
Don't
ladies
forget.
and gentlemen, listen to more great programming here on this one station we know and love, AM 560.
The answer. Thank you. I actually thought that was a very good segment about the book. We never did that on the show.
I thought that was great. I thought that was phenomenal.
So remember,
Oh!
we're shutting down.
I forgot. Enjoy. Remember.
What?
I'm walking away like I'm a...
Join us at Rosati's tonight. We're going to have some drinks. And I'm going to be on David Hochberg's show tomorrow on WLS at between 10 and 12.
We're
Join
celebrating
me.
tonight.
Home sweet home.
Chicago. That's right. Home Sweet Home.